Welcome to Lisbon. Join us on the most exciting adventure of Lisbon. We're gonna go off the beaten path. We're gonna find secret alleys, picturesque neighborhoods. We're gonna take you to lesser known spots that only locals know about. Kinda. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned traveler, this video will give you the fresh perspective of Portugal's capital city, Lisbon. This trip started with a plane ride from Saskatchewan to Portugal. So when we arrived in Lisbon, we actually had our home and villa with the Marriott canceled, and then they actually upgraded us to a different place, and we were able to get in sooner. Thank goodness, because our plane landed so early, so we were able to get off the plane, get downtown Lisbon, and then get into our Airbnb-ish home and villa, and then we were able to drop our bags and everything, and then we had a walking tour around Lisbon.
Thank you.
It's tricky. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
After pulling both doors, I think you made my foot.
So the first thing we obviously did, because if you look up Lisbon, you must try the Pastal de Nata. Is that how you say it?
Pastal de Nata.
So we headed into a shop right not too far from actually where we were staying. Our tour guide recommended that we head in there, and we tried them. They're like an egg inside of a pastry cup. So the Pastal de Nata started in the 18th century by monks and nuns using egg whites to starch their clothes. They were left over with a surplus of egg yolks. They creatively utilized the yolks to bake a delicious custard tart after the Liberal Revolution of 1820. And then they started selling them, and now they're famous and like everywhere in Lisbon. We are going on a free walking tour. One thing I 100% recommend going to any city is a free walking tour. So by free, I mean you don't pay up front, but you pay by tipping the person that takes you on it. So we booked it I think every city we've gone to, we book a free walking tour, and then we tip them so graciously after. They're usually the most amazing people with the most amazing info. So our tour started off by just looking at textures of Lisbon and the different materials and tiles and different architecture and design that they have in their buildings. And then we had this one cute little place, and you could walk in and you could see like everything from the floor to the ceiling to the lights. It was just incredible, the amount of detail. And then we carried on the cobblestone streets because they are so freaking cute, but they are toe catching, so you got to be careful. And I heard somebody say that sometimes like the black stones can be slipperier than the white stones or something like that if it's raining. So I'm not sure if it's true or not. It did not rain while we were there, but an FYI. And we headed over to this crazy church. The history of the church and how many times it was torn down or wrecked or had burnt down. It was like the church was never meant to be.
Here in April 19th of 1506, there were celebrating.
St. Dominic's Church in Lisbon survived multiple earthquakes, fires, including the 1755 Lisbon earthquake that wrecked like 85% of the city. It managed to survive that. And again, a fire in 1959, and it remains a place of worship. It's still open. It's so crazy. It feels so weird when you go in there because it's not like a really fancy church, and you can just see where the fire damage and everything was. It is like one of the coolest churches to see. And we headed on over to, if you call it the metro station, I'm not sure if they call them metro stations. I guess the train station. It is like the coolest looking little building. It looks like you're gonna walk through some horseshoe doors. And we go in there, and it was like, okay, sure, cool. You know, it's a neat building, and we definitely utilized the building because the next day we were out of there and off to Sintra through these doors. But this had the secret passageway, I guess maybe secret but not so secret, up to a higher level out the back. I would have never known. Up here you had great views, and let me tell you, Lisbon is the city of hills. Like, this place is steep. There's levels everywhere you go, and like you're gonna have some sweet calves after this place, but it's definitely worth the hike. One of my other favorite things, being this was our first trip to Europe, was in Portugal. There was little bars everywhere. It is the best thing, and you have a reusable cup, and you can go back, and the drinks are cheaper because you brought your cup back, and they were everywhere. So of course we had a pit stop on the walk. with our back way through the train station, we were able to come in through the back way of the Santa Justa lift. So we were at the very top, which was so cool because we didn't have to wait in line to get in the elevator to get up there where everybody was waiting. We were able to walk up top and look around the whole city. It was so amazing. It was an incredible view. We never did ride the elevator. It looked very cool. I took a picture at the bottom, but we got to the top a different way, and we wouldn't have known that if we hadn't taken the free walking tour. So Lisbon is, like I said, full of hills, and this is one way to get you from one neighborhood to the next, is there's an elevator in the middle of the city for you to get up to the next level. After this, we continued on our tour with some really incredible sights of different buildings, like castles inside the city, and we made our way over to the oldest bookstore in the world.
And it's going to say that you just bought this book in the oldest operating bookshop in the world, and it's going to get stamped by the Bertrand bookshop.
And of course, we had to buy a book there. Our daughter loves reading, and to be honest, it started me down a path of a book series, and I am on book number 8 now because of the book we purchased at this store. If you purchase a book at the store, they also give you a stamp inside your book to say that you purchased it from the oldest store in the world. It's like, it doesn't feel very old-ish, maybe because I guess maybe they kind of renovated it inside, but it is like so long. And then down some more steps we go as we head on over to, like, check that ground out. Look at the amazing detail on the sidewalk. This city is like so pretty. Oh, and we learned about the trams. So what you think is a tram is not a tram.
Now the Portuguese tram, it's coming on your right. That's a tram. The electric is the small, cute, old one. Got it?
So the tram is the big bus, and I swear when you look up Lisbon, all you see is tram 28. I think that's what they call it, but that's the Electrica. So if you're looking things up and you want to know the right phrase, you want Electrica, the old one for number 28. That's when most people ride. We didn't ride any. We definitely watched them go by, and they do leave a beautiful scenery when they go by, and it's an incredible piece of history. The tour ended with us being in the plaza. So I guess you call it the town plaza. I can't say the word. Praça do Comércio is Portugal's capital plaza. It is very large. After this, we asked our tour guide where we should go for lunch, and she directed us to a cute, more like local type of cafe. It was on a side street, and so you sat with cute little chairs on the street drinking, like no cars could come down. So we had wine. Portugal is famous for the Porto wine, so we tried some of that and had the most amazing meal. This was so fresh and delicious. It was like, the best experience for just being in the city for just a little while. I recommend this place. If it is still open, you've got to hit places like this when you're here. After our lunch, we headed on over to Pink Street, I believe it was called. Pink Street is where the nightlife happens. There was people dancing, and there were so many people there, and we didn't stop. We just blew through it because I just wanted to see the umbrellas. As the day went on, we decided that we would head over to Alfama, I believe is the old district of Lisbon. So up some more stairs, like a lot of stairs. So if you remember the castle at the very beginning where I shot a video across from the train station, that's where we headed to go see what was happening over there. I can't say everybody was super impressed on our first day after flying all night that I was going to make them hike all the way up to this castle, but I had to go see what was happening up there. So Alfama, the historic heart of Lisbon, where the earthquake didn't destroy everything. And Alfama comes from the Arabic word al-hama, meaning fountains or baths, and is one of the oldest districts in Lisbon, situated on a hill overlooking the river. And Alfama is famous for their traditional fado music. We didn't make it to any fado bars. I couldn't convince anybody to go sit in a fado bar and listen to music, even though I would have liked to, but you really should check it out because the vibe seems amazing. We did, though, on our way to finding dinner, stumble across one of the most, I guess what they call picturesque spots in Alfama. And it was like a weird happenstance that we made it there. Okay, so one tip is if they stand outside the restaurant and call you in, don't stop. That's what, like, if it's a good restaurant, they don't need to call you in. And we went to a restaurant and they're calling us in to eat pizza. And we're like, oh yeah, we're in Europe. Pizza's gonna be good. It was the worst pizza. It was the worst pizza. Like, don't go to the places that call you in. Okay, I didn't post about the place we ate supper, but we stumbled upon a castle that was down there. The size and the girth of this thing was incredible. The castle is it is a Cathedral of St. Mary Major, often called the Lisbon Cathedral. It is a Roman Catholic cathedral. It is so incredible, the size of this thing. We didn't go inside of it, but we just toured around the outside. This restaurant, I can't remember how I stumbled across the authentic Portuguese restaurants. And there was nobody standing outside this one to wave us in, and they were almost full and didn't even know if they could seat us, but they had one table, thank goodness, because it was the most incredible food. I ate beef cheeks. So if you really want an experience with different flavors and food, like the kids didn't eat beef cheeks, they ate other things. So there is other things there. If you have people in the family that are a little bit weird about different things they try, but want to try a delicious meal, highly recommend it. And then we went for gelato. And let me tell you, this was the gelato. This isn't the gelato that's like all bright colored and like don't eat it if it's bright colored and heaping. This place was so good. We ate it a few times because it was so good. And my favorite was caramel and soya sauce gelato. Like, who knew that you would crave this for your life? Like, it is so good. So that is 24 hours in Lisbon. 100% recommend this city. It is like a city we fell in love with, and if anybody asks us, like, it is like the place we want to go back to, like, really bad. It was just so full of character and so full of charm. But we couldn't stay forever. We had other things to do. So stay tuned because we were off to Sintra next.